to the aviation expert and attorney Jim Crouse, who we talked with earlier here on this newscast. And Jim, you were able to look at the debris there on the airfield, and judging from that, what can you tell us about what may have caused the plane crash?
Well, first of all, we don't know, but it looks like a fairly low energy impact, meaning it was not just an aircraft that came forcefully out of the sky. It appears to me that something happened during approach or on touchdown or shortly after touchdown. There's a strong vertical component to the aircraft wreckage, meaning the engine is dislodged, but dislodged downward and forward. The wings appear to have been damaged vertically, as does the tail section. So you don't see much of a horizontal, meaning a crash that occurred across the ground. It occurred fairly vertically. Either it bounced off the runway or it hit there fairly substantially vertically.
Those alerts that go out whenever there is a plane incoming to an airport that has some known damage or has some known problem, those alerts go out pretty wide, and we didn't hear anything about that. So what we can just guess from now is that the initial impact was the first time that they realized that there was going to be some sort of problem, and at that point, not a lot you can do to recover a plane like that.
That's correct. Air traffic control communications will tell us if there was anything that occurred between the aircraft and the ground immediately prior or during the descent. But it looks like this is a end of the flight event, meaning very close to the ground or after touchdown, perhaps a blown tire, perhaps an engine that malfunctioned that created torque that pulled them off the runway, a landing gear collapse, something like that. But again, minimal damage, and it looks like whatever emergency happened, the pilot did a fairly good job responding to it.
And Jim, this is what you called an executive transport plane, not carrying passengers, but in this case, UNC Health using it as a medical services plane. Talk about what we know about flying this particular type of aircraft, well respected in the pilot community, right?
Yeah, I know of no information or hangar talk or rumor that says this is a dangerous aircraft. There are some out there that are a little bit harder to fly, a little bit less forgiving than this aircraft, but it's a turbine-powered, I believe, single-engine aircraft that is fairly expeditious and gets people from one place to another in a good way. So I have no criticisms of this aircraft.
Without knowing the pilot or the doctor that was on board, knowing their physical condition, age, things like that, you said this would be, under typical circumstances, an imminently survivable wreck.
From what it looks like, yes. It looks like it is survivable. Again, we don't know the extent of the injuries. That would be based on the condition of the people who are on board and the nature of the impact itself, vertical, horizontal, extended, quick. But this looks survivable at this point.
Jim Crouse, aviation expert, thank you for sharing your expertise and your insight as we and investigators try to piece together what happened here to this small plane, a UNC Health medical plane that ran into trouble at RDU there on the airfield.